You must be very bored there, aren't you? It's been almost 2 years now that I moved to this abandoned house in the middle of nowhere. And whenever I mention to someone that I moved to the middle of nowhere after living most of my life in European capital, they say, wow, that's cool, nature, but you must be very bored there, aren't you? There is nothing to do there, no people, no entertainment, no civilization around, no communication. Indeed, 2 years ago, I imagined my future life like this, and that I won't have any connection with people except of my work through internet. And for some culture, I would need to go to the bigger city, to Valencia or Madrid once in a while. I was actually mentally prepared to stay alone, to live very quiet, very peaceful life and dedicate my time to repairing the house and to my work. I wasn't even learning Spanish because I didn't see a need of it. With whom will I communicate and where? But now, after 2 years here, it turned out it's very different. Now in August, it's the time of fiesta in the entire Spain. If you're planning to do anything in Spain in August, it should be partying. In Spanish countryside, every village has its own parties. But the villages nearby, they take turns to make their parties so they don't overlap, and people from one village are going to their own parties, and then they're going to another village to have party in another village, and then to another village, and it's like a moving party across all the villages. And as I live in the middle of nowhere where there are not a lot of tourists, I want to show you a few very local fiestas I have been to. These parties are quite different. They're happening in different villages. They have different traditions, but they all have something in common. I lived in Ukraine, in France, and in the United States. And I haven't seen anything like this in any other country before. I invite you, while I'm showing you these parties, to guess what thing in common do they have? What thing that is not normal in other places, in other countries, and I'll share what I see in the end as well. Years ago, when there were no railway and no trucks, what was the fastest way to deliver goods? That's correct. Those were rivers. Through rivers, all the goods were delivered, including woods. The wood that was cut higher up in the mountains was delivered to the towns down the river to be sold. And it was delivered by water. Very similar to what we do now for fun, like rafting, but it was wood rafting. And though now this is not the case anymore, and the wood is delivered in another way, quite a few towns in Spain keep celebrating this tradition in the end of April. It starts in the morning when all the people are going down to the riverbank for the food and show. While expecting for the show, they are sitting on the grass, eating food from the local bakery and drinking wine or beer. Then the people who are going to make the show, wearing traditional dress and footwear, they start climbing these wood rafts. And then they go down the river flow. And everyone is watching from the riverbank and following them and cheering up and just having fun. And then it's time to go back to the town because it's time for a huge paella. Oops, it's not ready yet. Well, this way people have time to do other things.
Buenos días. Buenos días, he dicho.
There is a medieval market there. They love medieval things and all things about tortures and all that stuff. It was really, really cool inside of the church, while outside it was pretty hot. Well, it seems that paella is getting there and is going to be ready soon. And here we go, it's finally ready. I would like to thank to all the lovely people who are supporting my channel. Thank you very much. If you would like to become a member of my channel and support my channel, check out join button below. The plans are starting from $1. Very important thing. Today I realized that before I showed my outdoor shower, but I haven't talked about it in details. It costed me $0. And it's a really luxury experience. If you would like me to tell about it, share how I built it and everything, let me know in the comments and I'll make a separate video about this. Cheers! There are a lot of bees in this area, and when I go to get drinking water from the mountain spring, I see them all the time, buzzing around. So it's not surprising that one of the local festivals I went to was devoted to bees and to honey, and I want to show you how it was. It happens in a small town with 5,000 people only. It's normally very quiet, everyone knows each other and you greet people when you meet them on the streets. But once a year, in October, more than 20,000 people come over for this honey festival. The festival is called Primer Corte de Miel, the first cut of honey. All the narrow streets become packed with people. Everything is decorated in honey theme. All products made of honey are sold there. And that all comes from the local beekeepers. But not only honey, also local cheeses, meats, desserts, and crafts, and art. Basically, the entire town turns into a huge market and fun zone at the same time. Kids, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, local, tourists, everyone does the same stuff together. You can taste honey straight from the frame, make crafts, watch cooking shows. This is one big shared party. And when the sun goes down, it doesn't stop because everyone moves to discoteca, which starts at 1 a.m. and finishes about 7 a.m. This is very typical for Spanish discoteca. Well, I guess the tradition of siesta does help to keep up to this rhythm. Honestly, before I was living here, I was thinking that siesta is more like cultural and traditional thing. But now I understand that it's not cultural, it's not the thing of tradition. It's the necessity and the human right. Because it's so much easier to wake up early, do some stuff outside while there is no awful heat, take some rest, take quiet hours, like 3-4 hours during the day, that you devote to eating without hurry with family, and then to take a nap or just to wind down, to read a book, to watch the skies. And then after 4 p.m. continue with your life, because otherwise it's just not possible. And that's why they're having dinner very late, at 9 and 10 p.m., go to bed around 12-1 a.m. If there is no party, of course. Well, another party is with bulls. These types of parties happen in all small villages of Spain. Normally, it's 1 week in August. They close some streets in the village. They put grates there where people would stand while a bull or a few bulls will be running through the streets. It was very unusual and it was fun. I don't have video from another fiesta, but I'll tell about it. It was in a small village, less than 200 people. It starts with all the people from the village eating together. It's called sobaquilla, when you have to bring your own food, but you eat with other people. Different families, friends, bring their own food. They sit together at the huge table, all village together. But they bring their own food, and the village provides wine, coffee, and dessert. And then there is a performance contest. The participants are from 3 years up to 80 years, singing or dancing or doing some other crazy stuff on stage. And everyone is cheering up because everyone knows each other, they're eating together. At 12 a.m. they start to serve coffee, which means that the eating time is getting to the end. So they serve coffee and dessert, and then everyone is collecting chairs and tables and everything and clear the area for dancing. Around 1 a.m. the dancing party begins, and as at other parties it ends up around 6-7 a.m. What is very interesting in this party, that it's always organized by the kids who just finished school. They just finished local school, so they're 16, 17 years old, and they are always organizing this party with the help of community, of course, but it's the tradition that local teenagers would organize this party, and every year it's a new group of organizers. I also went to a few rock concerts, and what surprised me a lot, that just like on other parties, on rock concerts there were people of all ages there. There were grandparents, toddlers, teenagers, everyone were there at 3 a.m. Maybe not that many old people, but there were quite a few, certainly more than I would have expected. On one of the concerts, punk rock concert, the frontman invited his son and another kid to the stage to sing with them. That was very sweet, and all the people loved this. Well, have you guessed what is common for all these parties, for all these Spanish fiestas? For me, it was the most impressive thing ever to see people of different ages enjoying their time together. The same way while visiting the castle and at the rock concert, and their grandfathers, grandmothers and toddlers dancing, they're eating, they're having fun all together, different ages together. Maybe in some other places it's normal, but I haven't seen it that much before, and it impressed me a lot. I think this is a very important part of Spanish culture. Even not being a part of Spanish family, I feel the spirit of family just going to this party. By the way, the story about this house in the middle of nowhere without electricity and water and heating, I shared it in the video before. It should be on the screen right now. If you haven't watched it, I invite you to watch it now. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye.